reading and writing, I could do that all day long. But math, oh, that was rough. So I had a big course load. I was working 2 jobs, right? I decided to start a side hustle of making jewelry. Then I landed a full-time job in substance abuse. And I'm dedicated. I'm taking on more hours than I need to take, right? And I'm working my way up through the ranks, and I'm doing everything I need to do. And I'm hitting every single milestone. The plan is going exactly according to plan, exactly as I planned it. And then I graduate. I'm 6 months into my career as a therapist, and I'm sitting in my beautiful office, this large space with a beautiful wood desk. I shouldn't have had that as an office, but it's beautiful. Weeping because I couldn't imagine waking up and coming into work the next day. Because I could not do it anymore. I was burned out. I was done. And the representative that got me to this place, the perfectionist. The person that thought she had to do the most. All of the time. The person that showed up in the world and thought that the only way to be accepted and validated and worthy was through what I could produce and how perfect I could make everything work. And the reason that I share this with you is because those 2 places that I got to were flip sides of the same negative belief that created a mindset that led me to a place of desperation and sadness. The belief that I wasn't worthy. The belief that I wasn't worthy of love and belonging in this world. That who I was at a core level, at an innate level, was not enough. And why do I bring this to you today, ladies? Because we get these messages all day long. You're not skinny enough, you're not pretty enough, you're not doing enough, you're not a good enough mother, you're not this, you're not that. You gotta be head of the career, head of the house, head of the PTA, bake some cookies and sell Avon out of your trunk. Jesus. It's like, I don't know, maybe that's a little bit extreme, but I think you guys are getting what I'm putting down right now, right? Like, we get these messages all day long. And this feeling that we need to perfect creates behaviors that lead us to places of breakdown, that lead us into unhealthy behaviors. And it's a scary place to get to. Now, what I know today is at the core of this is deep-seated shame. When I was in my addiction, it was very apparent that I had shame. Obviously. I'm constantly killing myself every day with drugs and alcohol. If we see somebody out here abusing their body, we're going to say, oh, I think there's something wrong with them. Maybe they have like some daddy issues or something, right? Like we know something's off. But what about perfectionism and overworking and overachieving? Our culture values this. And so we're rewarded by it. But the problem is that perfectionism is like a drug. And the more you achieve, the more you do, the more compliments you get, the more great you're told how beautiful your home is, or how great your hair is, or what a great teacher you are, or what a great advisor you are, or whatever, is that the experience that you have, that reward that you get is fleeting and it's temporary. And then you're looking for the next box to check off. Thinking that that next box, that next check mark, that next compliment is going to give you fulfillment and happiness. But it never comes. Because here's the reality, is that the real joy, the real happiness comes through the journey. It's in mastering the emotional and mental mindset that helps you understand that self-actualization is self-love. It's believing in yourself. It's knowing that you're worthy and then pursuing those dreams and achieving them along the way. It's finding beauty in the imperfection and the messiness of life and the imperfection and messiness of who you are. And I tell you this today, ladies, because what we're talking about is shame. And how often do we call it by its name? How often do we say, I don't feel good enough. I don't feel worthy. I'm scared I might fail right now and people might judge me. I don't want to go after that big dream of mine, or I don't want to change jobs, or I don't want to do this because people might question my decision. And we worry more about how other people perceive us than how we perceive ourselves. And when we show up in an inauthentic way, we breed more shame. And we're constantly in this cycle of pain. And I can tell you that when I was sitting at that desk weeping, I was confused. I didn't understand. I love being a social worker. I'm freaking good at it too. And I love doing what I do. I truly believe that it's my life mission. I couldn't understand why I was so sad. But I knew that something had to change. And in that moment, I made a decision to look inward. I had to dig deep. I had to do the work. I had to ask myself some tough questions. Why am I constantly in this pattern of busyness and achievement? Why do I think I need to go back and get my doctorate right now? Like, I legitimately just walk off the graduation stage and I'm like, oh, I get my doctorate! Bye! Like, go home and take a nap. You know what I mean? Like, I had to ask myself the tough questions. Is why was I behaving this way? Why was I in this destructive pattern? Why was it that in my own skin, I did not feel like I was valuable enough to be worthy of where I was sitting? Why did I feel like I needed to take on every single responsibility that was handed to me and say yes to every single person all the time? And so I started my imperfect journey of discovery to heal my perfectionism and recover from my burnout. And what I learned along the way, I'm going to give to you now. Number one, vulnerability is key. Now, some of you might hear that word and be like, what are you talking about? Vulnerability is weakness. But that's not true. Vulnerability is courage. Vulnerability is showing up in my imperfect self and allowing myself to be fully seen no matter what the outcome is. You might judge me. You might not like me. That's okay. I don't have to be for everybody. The only person I need to be for is me. And that when I do that, I alleviate shame. And at the core of perfectionism is shame. Now my rock star, my superhero is Brene Brown. Brene Brown is a, is a shame researcher, social worker, and storyteller. And in her work, she discovered exactly what I just said. That shame breeds perfectionism, lots of other behaviors, but we'll stay on topic for today. That shame breeds perfectionism. And I had a quote, I can't remember it, and my phone's over there. But basically what she's saying is that we striving for perfection is not the same as perfectionism. Perfectionism is the belief that we have to live perfectly, act perfectly, and be perfect in order to avoid. And what we do is to avoid the pain of shame, blame, and judgment. And that's exactly how I lived my life for 8 years. And that when we show up and allow ourselves to be imperfect and embrace that vulnerability, that we relieve the shame and we build connection with other people, and that's what we need, is a healthy, supportive network of people who see us. Just like Shelby shared at the end of her talk, I felt like I was talking to people who were like my girlfriends. And I don't know about you, but the girlfriends who I surround myself with today, they get me. They understand. And that feels good. That lets me know that I'm not alone. And when I share some crazy stuff, they're like, girl, I know, me too. Like, it's like whatever. And I don't feel bad about how I behave or whatever. I can treat myself with compassion, and they treat me with compassion. And I don't feel that innate feeling that I'm not good enough. Second, is that you can love your job and still have negative thoughts about it, especially if you're a helping professional. I felt like I wasn't allowed to complain about the work that I did because I was helping people whose problems were bigger than mine. And so therefore, I didn't process the daily emotional disturbances of what was going on with me. And when you don't process that stuff, you know what happens? It festers, and it gets bigger, and more shame comes because I don't know about you, but I'm real good at like shaming myself and being like, you shouldn't feel that way. You shouldn't think like that. And then it gets worse and it bleeds into other areas of my life and I create this cycle, this vicious cycle of pain. And so what I had to do was stop judging the thoughts and recognize, hey, work can suck sometimes. Life can be hard. And it's okay to show up and talk about it. But have the healthy supportive people to process it with, and hey, get some healthy coping skills. You know what I mean? Like, I'm preaching that shit all day long. Let's get some healthy coping skills. You know what I mean? Let's start doing some things here. Third, never settle for less than you deserve. This is Mental Mastery 101, guys. 101. You are deserving of everything that you desire and want. Everything that you are looking for is looking for you. If you want something, it is yours if you believe that you deserve it. Nothing is impossible. Tell yourself this every single day. And I repeat right now, never settle for less than you deserve. And never tolerate mistreatment or disrespect. You are better than that. I don't care if it's coming from a boss or whoever. You never have to tolerate that. You can make a decision to eliminate that junk out of your life right now. Third, I come first. You come first. I'm going to use the comparison right now of the oxygen mask on the plane. For those of you who know what I'm about to say, you're welcome for the reminder. For those of you who have no idea what I'm talking about, I'm going to sound very wise right now. This is not original material. Please don't give me too much credit. When you're on a plane and it experiences turbulence or you're in an emergency, the oxygen mask will fall. In the beginning of the flight, when the attendant is going over the advisement that most of us tune out for because we're checking our phone or judging who's sitting next to us, they say, when the oxygen masks fall, put it on your face first before you try to help anyone else, even your own children. And why is this? Because you are of no use to anyone if you're dying. Figuratively or literally. I was experiencing an emotional death. How the hell am I supposed to sit there and hold space for a client when I'm dying inside and don't even want to be there? How am I supposed to do anything? How am I supposed to help anybody in any way? Family, co-workers, customers, clients, whatever, if I'm not taking care of myself. So why do I say this? Because self-care is not optional, ladies. It ain't, okay? It is necessary. It is something that you need to be intentional about every single day. And what that means, setting boundaries, asking for what you need, saying no, eliminating toxic people from your life. This could include bosses, annoying coworkers, and even family. And bubble baths. You can have bubble baths too if you're into that thing. I like a good bubble bath. That's part of self-care. Second to last, is that everything begins and ends with what you think. This should have been number one, but it takes time, and you're probably going to need help for this, ladies. You might need a coach or a therapist. But your belief system determines how you feel and how you behave. In order to create a new belief, you have to think new thoughts. That means first gaining awareness of the self-destructive thoughts that are causing you to behave in ways that are no longer serving you. But it's possible. And in order to create a new belief, you have to be intentional with choosing new thoughts. Because a belief is a thought that's had over and over again. So therefore, simply, if you create new thoughts, think them over and over and over again, you will create a new belief. This is where the transformation occurs. It's a skill, it's a practice, it's something you have to do every single day. But once you get the hang of it and you know what you're doing, it actually gets pretty simple, and the transformation will start to happen faster than you think. Lastly, now here we are, we're at the last one, is that you need to treat yourself with the same love and compassion that you would treat a small child or your best friend. You could do this work for years, and you will still have some negative thoughts. You will still act out occasionally. You will still do some dumb stuff. That's okay. Treat yourself with love and compassion. Tell yourself that you're human and you're allowed to make mistakes and you will never be perfect. Thank God. How boring would that be if we were perfect, if we were all perfect? It's fascinating to me because I'm drawn to people who are imperfect, but I wanted to be perfect. It's crazy. But treating yourself with love and compassion and knowing that through this process, when you treat yourself this way, you will start to feel braver to take risks, to experience failures, perceived failures, to show up authentically, to live boldly, to be who you are. And in that process, you're going to learn a lot of self-forgiveness. And the cool thing about that is that you learn how to give it to others. And in that process, you realize your worth, and you realize your divine human nature, and you start to see it in other people, and you build wholehearted connections in the world around you. And you start to feel like you do belong. And so does everyone else. It's a beautiful process. Shame is a hard thing to talk about, but it's at the core of perfection. And I can tell you that I wore my perfectionism like a badge. Look at everything I do. Look at this over there. Look at that over there. I even wore my burnout like a badge. Look at what a hard worker and how determined I am. But what I know today is that's all bullshit. And it's not real. And that the best way to live authentically and have a happy and joyous life is to show up with vulnerability and being your genuine self. And to recognize that imperfection is beautiful. And that in this process of life, you're going to experience some opportunities for growth, some lessons, and to stop fearing failure, because failure isn't even real anyway. It's all just learning opportunities, guys. You're just learning how to do it differently next time, and learning what you do want or what you don't want. Living an authentic, bold life prevents the destructive behaviors that lead to situations that cause us to burn out or ruin relationships or whatever it is for you. For me, it was perfectionism that led to burnout. For you, it might be something else. But at the core of it is shame. And the best way to alleviate that shame is through practicing vulnerability. Embrace this messy and beautiful life. Walk through it, show up in your imperfection, and know that you can handle anything that comes at you. You are resilient and brave. And as soon as you believe that, your life will change. My name is Catherine Townsend, and I help professionals recover from burnout. Thank you so much, guys, for that.
Thank you so much, Katie. So we're about to break for food. There's going to be some food over there. I did want to say, I think, a few things. So one thing, we actually, in the raffle, if you haven't dropped your tickets in there, go ahead and do that. We're going to be pulling them at the end of the break. And actually, so we have Maddie here. She's the yoga teacher. You want to say that, Maddie, real quick? So this is the yoga teacher that she's offering a free yoga session. She's the one that the raffle that has like yoga mat with the bottle and a private yoga session. This is Maddie. She would be doing it. Yay, Maddie! Line, if you want to say what all the lines are.
I handcraft my own products. I use no chemicals. Everything's organic. Everything's made here in America. I run my own little business. I'm One Natural on Instagram. I make chapsticks, lotions, and cosmetics also. So
Yeah, so in the goodie bags, she actually has like a chapstick for everybody. You can see that tonight. And so you guys will be able to kind of like try a chapstick that she's giving to everybody to try out. And then yeah, Mad Natural is her Instagram. And then I want to shout out Shirley real quick she's like helping us out. You want to stand up, Shirley? So she's helping us out with like taking, helping us film and taking pictures of us, and she totally is amazing. I just wanted to give her like a second. She's in the junior league with me. A couple of other girls too are here with the junior league, but I just wanted to give her the mic for a second just to explain what she does, because it's just amazing.
All right, guys, so if I haven't met you today, my name is Shirley Bizua. I am the CEO and founder of SB Media Group. So what I do is I help women, startups, entrepreneurs do their personal branding, social media management, and anything you can think of. I'm here to help with ideas and just to get you started and launched up. So I actually created this right here. You guys should be maybe all getting one.
Yep,
right?
in the goodie bag.
So I'm going to be doing a free giveaway. So what this entails is a free consulting with free headshots. So I know most of us do like a headshot on LinkedIn, it's like a selfie. So if you have that, I got you. So you're gonna flip this and just gonna follow the rules back here, social media, follow me, tag a friend in your business, and you're all set to go.
Yes.
So it was nice to meet you. If you have any questions, feel free to come up.
Thank you so much, Shirley. All right, we're gonna break now. There's gonna be food and that.